So according to a study from Australia, beard fashion trends may actually be guided by natural selection. Now, scientists in Sydney published a study in the Royal Society Journal, Biology Letters, that says that the more beards that there are, the less attractive they become. Now, this, of course, will give men who are clean-shaven a competitive advantage when it comes to mating. Now, they call it peak beard, and according to these scientists, we may have actually hit that. Now, on to the methodology. Now, in this latest experiment, 1,453 women and 213 men were asked to rate the attractiveness of different samples of men's faces. Now, some were shown mostly full beards, others shown mostly clean-shaven faces. A third of the group was actually shown an even mixture of all four varieties: clean-shaven, light stubble, heavy stubble, and the full beard. Both men and women judged heavy stubble and full beards as more attractive when they were more rare than when they were more common, and likewise for clean-shaven faces. Now, this pattern mirrors an evolutionary phenomenon called negative frequency dependent sexual selection, or, to put it more simply, an advantage to rare traits. Now, these scientists have some interesting theories as to why big beards have been popular lately. Professor Rob Brooks of the University of New South Wales actually theorized the recent beard boom may be because of the 2008 financial crisis. Interesting. Now, he said, I think one of the reasons beards have made a comeback is because of now is that it's a difficult time. Quote, young men are competing to attract someone when work is not easy to come by, so we might expect some aspects of masculinity to get turned up to 11. After the Wall Street crash in the 1920s, there is some circumstantial evidence that beards got big again. So, he says maybe economic conditions have set the stage for the recent comeback in beardedness. Fascinating. Now, he also said, and this is kind of interesting, when Greece's economy tanked, and he's asking a question, did beards take off? And he says that's something that we're going to look at. Now, they're going to continue doing more studies, of course, on this, and this is really, really interesting. But I want to ask you guys, what do you think about this trend, and what do you think about it being possibly tied to hard financial times? It's very interesting.
I personally, I hope that there is a trend going back towards kind of clean-shavenness, because personally I looked awful with a beard, and it takes me months to try and grow one. But
Sad day.
With kind of with it being linked to the financial crisis, I don't necessarily think that's the case. That would be a very hard case to prove. With me, it reminds me there was a study done a number of years ago. It's a bit of a kind of a fashion story in a way of how fashions change, because kind of there's that old mantra of if you're wearing vertical lines, then you appear slimmer. But they did a study where if lots of people are wearing vertical lines to appear slimmer, then they think, oh, then you must be fat if you're trying to wear vertical lines. And so people start wearing horizontal lines to try and look slimmer. And it changes every couple of years. It goes to vertical lines looking slimmer, and then it's horizontal lines looking slimmer. And it's just whatever is in fashion. If it's a rarity, or kind of if it's not kind of common on the marketplace, then people want more of it. And I think that's the case of beards. More and more people are getting beards, and so being clean-shaven is rare. And if it's rare, more people want it, or at least more women want it in this case, at least for the most part, probably homosexual men do as well.
That sort of sounds like how fads start. You know, somebody does that, it's very rare, and people are like, oh my God, that's awesome, I want to do it. And suddenly,
yeah, really, I think this is more a study about how kind of fads, and particularly kind of fashion fads, come into and out of effect. It's just supply and demand, really. I think at the end of the day.
Yeah, I just, I guess I'm the token beard, and the oh wow, beard has another connotation. That's not what I meant. I am the token man with a beard, and in all honesty, like, it has nothing to do. Well, maybe it has a little bit to do with the way I think I look in it. The real reason is I'm really lazy, and I don't shave very often, and so basically I shave once, and then I shave again when my wife makes me. And so that's what dictates whether or not I have a beard. however, I do. In the past couple of years, I've put on about 40 pounds, and I think my face looks a lot less fat with the beard. So I'm more likely to wear a beard now than I used to. Yeah, I used to. What I really like, if I had my way and wasn't a supreme fat ass like I am right now, I'd have mutton chops. That's what I used to wear kind of towards the end of college, and that's what I really like. Um, yeah, for me, the beard is just a matter of like, has my wife made me shave, then I probably don't have a beard. If she hasn't, I probably have a beard. During hunting season, I do grow a beard, just because it's free camouflage. But that's about the only time I intentionally grow a beard.
Yeah, look, I got to be honest. I'm not like a fashion guy. I don't care about trends, right? I don't really give a shit what's in. So whenever I have like a full beard, and it gets to that point, it's because I'm fucking lazy. Now, I normally go with the goatee because I think that I look best with the goatee, right? And so I kind of stick with that. But when I have a beard, you know I've been fucking lazy. And that's pretty much how I operate on these things. But I do think that this is kind of fascinating that, you know, when something is rare, and it doesn't just apply to beards, but when a look is rare, it's more desirable. And I think that just sort of speaks to human nature. Like, ooh, that's rare. Like, it doesn't have to be, even in evolutionary biology terms, and, you know, forgive me if I, like, say something dumb because I'm not an evolutionary biologist by any means, right? It doesn't necessarily, from what I read from the article, you don't necessarily have to have a gene to pass on in order for you to be, you know, desired by the opposite sex. I mean, you know, a good example of this is, I think, money, right? Or wealth, or being the alpha male.
This study kind of, a lot of the kind of headlines of the websites that are covering this story are saying, oh, it's kind of evolutionary, and, you know, it's now an evolutionary benefit. It has been in the last kind of 2 or 3 years leading up to this peak beard moment. It's been an evolutionary benefit for males to have a full beard, and I don't like them using the term kind of evolutionary. It's been a fashion thing. Like, it's been an evolutionary benefit for men over the last 10 years not to wear leather trousers, sort of thing. It really is just a fashion thing at the end of the day. And I can imagine that in 10 years' time, or maybe in 20 years' time, people will be running a similar study, and there'll be similar headlines, but it'll be, have we reached peak moustache level? And it'll go back to the Magnum PI moustaches, or, you know, the massive curl-ons. It'll just be
handlebars.
The handlebars. It'll just be another one of these kind of like fashion trends that you just hit that peak moment, and then we'll move on to the next thing. I really don't think it's an evolutionary thing as far as we just want to go with what's fashionable.
In a way, it sort of is, I think, evolutionary, because, you know, you attract a mate, right? And so you got to use what you got, right? So maybe fashion plays a little part into that as far as the attraction part, because, I mean, part of evolution is, right, finding a mate and passing on your genes, right? You have to be attractive to a mate.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I think
part of that.
Yeah, but I think your point about kind of it's not necessarily passing on a genetic trait here. It's just a really superficial thing,
right?
Helping. I mean, okay, it is helping males sleep with more females. I mean, you'd have to do a kind of a further study to see whether bearded men are getting laid more often than clean-shaven men, and that would be a fascinating study in and of its own right.
Indeed.
But as you said, it's not a genetic thing that they're passing on.
Right.
It is just a superficial kind of cultural thing that that's helping people get laid more often.
And you made a good point too, is that it goes in cycles. I'd like to see more research, but don't think that we're covering this because we believe everything is 100% true in these studies. I have to give that disclaimer, because just because we cover a study doesn't believe we buy it completely. We're just having a fun discussion on, oh, look, they did this study that says this certain thing, so let's talk about it. Let's bullshit about it.